Sound great right now. Everything sounds fine. Here we are. We are live, Anthony. I'm in California. You're in New York. What do you think about that?
Yeah, apparently California doesn't have good internet service.
Well, there's a lot of things about California, particularly this guy over here. That's a big problem.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality.
Hey, Anthony Melchiori. I'm here with Craig Sullivan. How are you, sir?
I think it's the first show we've ever done where the interloper came in.
I know.
before we're ready to take him in. We never opened with three people.
I know. Well, we're having a little bit of an internet issue over here at, on Balboa Island here in California. So we thought we would combine the screens here in order to give us a little bit of a break on the signal. We're out in California because Craig's got his big California Lodging Investment Conference tomorrow, Anthony, and it's going to be really exciting to get a good update about what's going on in the market. But how are you today over there in New York?
I'm doing good. It's a really rainy, kind of snowy, icy day, but it's all good. Was in Bed-Stuy this morning for a meeting, and Bed-Stuy is not what the Bed-Stuy we remember.
No, it's nice now, right?
Well, it's really gentrified. It's amazing. I went to a really good little coffee place there. It was fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I'm just turning up the volume as producer Suzanne is asking. All right, so also making a special appearance, probably won't be able to see him or talk to him. This is Dave on an airplane coming to California now.
Who's sleeping on his shoulder?
Either his wife or a complete stranger. I'm not sure which.
Is his wife going with him? His wife's coming with him?
Yeah, she's coming out here too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So,
right,
apparently he got an invitation to come out, but I didn't get no invitation.
Yep. Well, our internet is so great. I think we heard a word or two of that paragraph or something. Yeah. All right, Dave's trying to come back again. This is not going to be a great situation here, Anthony, but we do want to talk a little bit about hotels in California, what's going on in the market in California. And for those of you who are interested in joining us tomorrow at the California Lodging Investment Conference, go to CLIconference.com. Join us for an all-day event. Where's that taking place, Craig?
Crown Jewel of the Anaheim Resort, the JW Marriott.
Yeah.
Our new home.
So how's registration, everything good? People are coming out. People, there's no more mask mandate, correct?
Yeah. Well, we didn't hear that at all. This is not working out too well, Anthony.
Okay, my friend. So this is a great show. I think we should maybe end the show.
Yeah, we should probably just call it. Quits. I'm sorry, everybody. This is not working out too well. There's construction going on here right now, and it's messing with our signal. But join us at the California Lodging Investment Conference. Craig, just at least say something about who's going to be there.
Hey, we've got 10 different brands. We've got lenders that have been making hotel loans throughout the pandemic. We've got third-party professionals. We've got arguably the third largest global management company involved. We've got all the hotel professionals. This is about your investment. It's about buying the hotel, repositioning. We've got everybody there. So
you have a lot of speakers. You have a lot of speakers and stuff.
Absolutely, and this is the nice thing. It's the what makes my conference different than the others, Anthony, is that we have the boots on the ground. We've got a overview of the California hotel market by trade associations, by owners, by management companies. We've got all the franchise teams for 10 different brands there that, work California. So if you're trying to get a hotel deal done with one of the brands, hey, this is the perfect place to have them, and talk to them for the day.
They definitely have a lot of speakers, a lot of great speakers. Plus Craig and I are going to be doing a little speaking. Bruce Ford's doing a keynote speech as well.
Yes,
so
wow. Yeah. I'm looking at my calendar and I don't see that I was asked to do any speaking. That's interesting.
Well, Craig doesn't pay very well, so.
Is that
barbecue?
He's paying me in tequila, but that's okay. I like tequila.
You could have asked. You never know if I'd show up and take some tequila for you. We're friends, right? You can always ask me.
Yeah, man. Come on down. It's not too late to get here for tomorrow morning. So
it is too late. I got now my week is busy, so now it is too late. But yeah, anytime, Craig, you ever need anything, just let me know and I'll say no, but it's nice to be asked.
You got it, Anthony. You're
So
having your first call. I'll make sure.
So you get your first no. So what's the number one priority that everybody's worried about?
I don't know. You said something there, but it sounded like
what's the number one priority? What's the number one priority? What is everyone worried about?
Number one priority is to bring, everybody together in the California hotel market. So again, we've got 7 trade organizations, we've got 10 brands, we've got a half dozen lenders, we've got the attorneys, the development people, the construction companies, and we're bringing them current information on the California hotel market. We're also looking at a boots on the ground point of view instead of the C-suite's point of view of where the market's going in the next 6 to 12 months. And, Bruce Ford delivers a great keynote for us. And, we've got over 100,000 rooms in LA that are coming online this year. So
are you serious?
Yeah. So we've got, a lot to talk about. And the last time we were all together was in a room was 2 years ago.
I know.
The week before the planet shut down.
So if I was going to come out, but if I was going to come out and invest in California, the first thing I would say is the last 2 years have been a little rough on California and the reputation of California, from everything from taxes to other issues. What would you tell me why I should invest in California?
Oh, good question.
What I would tell you is California coastal. This is the only state in the mainland where you could be surfing or scuba diving in the morning and snow skiing in the afternoon if we happen to get any snow. So you've got that. You've got some of the most beautiful coastline in the entire country in this state.
Yeah. We've
got a group, Pacifica Hotels, that I'm very close to, and Glenn and I stayed at one of their hotels.
Anthony was with us at the Wayfair.
That's right, at the Wayfair. Mm-hmm. So all of their hotels on the Central Coast have been running 90% occupancy since the hotels came back. We've had a record amount of sales. I had a hotel less than 2 miles from my front door that traded for over $300 million last year, and it's having a huge renovation on it. So, nothing has been traded at a discount rate, last year certainly, and a good part of the year before. Now, early on in the pandemic, there was some panicking and there were some discounts, but right now it's ending up being a bidding war. I was talking to the owners of the JW Marriott, and they were in a certain part of California yesterday looking at a couple of hotels to buy, and they're paying retail for them. So it's a profitable market. It's a good market. We've got a lot of demand generators out here.
Unless, of course, you're in like San Francisco, and according to STR, they just in the last couple of weeks compared to 2019, they're still down about 31.9% in terms of an occupancy decrease, and they're only right now at 53.7%. But San Francisco and like downtown LA are a little bit different than what we're seeing in most places. And I think, Craig, California has really benefited from people saying, I got to get the heck out of the house and drive somewhere, right?
Exactly.
Right, absolutely. And I do want to correct you. You said California is one of the, or I think you said only place where you can be in the ocean and then on a mountain. I can be in the ocean in the morning where I live, and I can be in Hunter Mountain in the afternoon. So you're not the only one.
All right,
but your water's going to be a whole hell of a lot colder.
I said I could be in it. I didn't say I wouldn't have a wetsuit on. But there's people surfing right now. It's 20 degrees out.
You have diehards back there that, you've got people surfing in Ireland during the wintertime. So, now that's not my cup of tea, but,
And what I'm hearing is what's happening in the world and what's happening right now in Russia and Ukraine, that a lot of people are kind of not going to Europe right now, and they're actually staying on the mainland. Are you starting to see those numbers? I mean, is there any indication from the numbers you look at that that's true in California as well?
That's true. If you get into the resort areas, as Glenn mentioned a moment ago, urban core here is still suffering. The big fat box that's attached to a convention center and downtown anywhere is still having a lot of problems. But Anaheim's coming back. We've got my conference going on this week. We've also got a huge health food industry conference going on at the same time. San Diego's starting to come back. Palm Springs has been on fire the whole time. And typically, right now is their season, and they become a ghost town during the summer. But I don't think that's going to happen this year because people are driving. The resorts up at Yosemite and all that are, going to be jam-packed all season. So, California coast has been at 90% occupancy for almost 24 months. So that's going to continue.
Craig, I got a question for you in regards to these soaring gas prices. I mean, New York is horrific. This is even worse. One of the things that I've always seen when AAA puts out the reports for summer travel, for example, that, everyone seems always worried about gas prices, but for the most part, I don't necessarily believe it really affects a lot of people. I don't see people canceling a whole summer vacation, for example, because they think they may have to spend $100 more in fuel. Maybe they won't go out to a particular meal or something like that to compensate. But do you feel I'm right when it comes to people traveling going forward for leisure?
I do. I think they're going to continue to go. It's something that unfortunately has been part of the norm in this state. As Anthony alluded to earlier, taxes are an issue. But as I was mentioning the other night when we were talking, about 50 cents out of every dollar goes to road and highway taxes here in California. And, my personal belief is until they have an accounting on that, we ought to drop that a little bit.
As a matter of fact, Anthony, I don't know if you heard it in New York, but I saw an article this morning that New York State's considering eliminating the gas tax for a little while during this period of time. Did you see anything?
No, I didn't see that. If that came out this morning, I wasn't looking at it.
Yeah,
but
no, you were in bed.
Yeah, that would be, people look at, first of all, they want to blame who's in office, right? Whether it's Republican or Democrat, they want to blame who's off.
It doesn't make sense.
And if you look at
And
if you look at why the gas prices are up, it has nothing to do with who's in office. It has nothing to do with the pipeline they're talking about. So the prices will come down, but the gas price is an indication of everything else, right? So people use the gas price and kind of blow that out of proportion. It's like, oh my God, the gas is going up, the world is over. It's really, that's an indication of everything else going up. I mean, everybody I speak to has either increased their payroll, or their rent has gone up. I mean, and it's whereas in a normal year, it'll go up 2, 3, 4%. It's going up 15, 20%. And that's where we're going to get hit. And that's really where the concern is.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point there, Anthony. These gas prices are getting a little bit out of control, but I never understood why we don't blame the big oil companies for raising prices. Why does everyone go to the president who's in charge?
It's really about supply, right? So they cut a deal. Trump cut a deal with OPEC to basically suppress the gas supply for X amount of years. That is coming due, I believe, in a couple of months, where they'll be able to resupply and they'll be out of that deal. That will make a difference, right? And this pipeline everybody's throwing around is like, well, just let the pipeline go. The only thing they did was they didn't allow another part of that pipeline to be built. And that pipeline isn't drilling. That pipeline is just supplying. And it's supplying just as much gas as it was under Trump as it is Biden. And there's 900 different locations in America that's not drilling. And those are up to the big companies. That's not open to the government. And again, nobody nail me as a Democrat or Republican. I'm telling you
that. But I do believe the White House press secretary Psaki said it was 9,000 perments were issued. Not
was it 9,000? Was it 9,000?
Yeah, which is incredible.
Did she say that? I read that somewhere. I don't know if it was the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I saw the video clip of that.
So 9,000. That's a lot, So there's so many things that go into it. Just like everybody wants to blame, why Putin went into Ukraine. Can I make you go into and pillage your next door neighbor just because you like me or don't like me?
You can, because you're super persuasive, but I don't know about the president. Yeah,
it's so insane. Just I think if we shut down the internet for a year. I think things would go back to a little bit normal, and people would kind of worry about what did Barbara Bush say? Don't worry what's happening in the White House, worry what's happening in your house.
Right. Yeah. I think we do need to shut down the internet for a little while, except for the fact that I'll be out of a job. and that won't be too good. But other than that, I totally get where you're coming from. So according to Dr. Producer Suzanne, AAA is saying that it's $4.24 a gallon nationwide right now, but California is higher at $5.57, where New York is a bargain at only $4.43. Anthony, I went to go get fuel on Sunday. I only needed a half tank, but I knew gas would be going up. On Monday, drove by the same gas station. It was up almost 30 cents more per gallon overnight.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I spent some time in Vietnam. So I learned how to pack a bike. So I'm just going to get my family on my shoulders, and I'm just going to drive everybody where they need to go on my bike.
I love that. I like that. You're going to have one of those great great hats for the rice fields.
I have one. You know, I have one of those.
I got one of those as well. I bought it at Epcot. I went with my friends at 19.
No, I got mine from a village, one of the few villages in Vietnam that still are all on the water. Ha Long Bay has a village. They live in Ha Long Bay, and the only way to get there is by, a paddle boat. Or no, actually, it's not true. You can also bring a junk boat in. Right. And they live on the water. And it's amazing. It is absolutely insane. And when I went and did the show there, I was doing something with one of the gentlemen that lived there, and we were fishing actually, and he gave me a hat. So I have an authentic Vietnamese hat.
That is pretty awesome. My Vietnamese hat from Epcot was probably made in China or something like that, right? Like everything else. So Anthony, one of the interesting things that we noticed over here in California is that STR is reporting that the Super Bowl was not as big of a boon for the city of Los Angeles as expected. In fact, it was the occupancy was in the Beverly Hills area, the highest, and that was only 88.5. Overall in the market, it was only a little bit over 80%. Greg, how much of that do you think has to do with it being a local event as opposed to other extenuating circumstances?
Well, I also think I think that has something to do with it. So,
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear enough because for those of you who don't know, the LA team happened to be in the Super Bowl, which is where the Super Bowl happened to be going. So as many people don't have to travel. Sorry.
Get that. But, the allotment of tickets, the home team, in this case, the Rams, only got X amount of tickets. The other team in the Super Bowl got an equal amount, and then they divvied up the rest of the tickets between media sponsors and the other teams. So, I think you could look at it being so spread out. So you didn't have great numbers, maybe downtown LA where they were better in Beverly Hills, San Fernando Valley on the other side of the hill, or you could have had a tremendous boon at the airport market because that is very close to SoFi.
I think it's because the team was a hometown team. So a lot of people didn't have to travel. A lot of people got in their car and went to the game.
That's a part of it, but again, it wasn't like the Rams got to control all the seats,
right?
Okay, they were spread out. They only got X amount.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. But it's if it was Tampa, they would have had that X amount, so it would have been more likely that a higher percentage of fans of the Buccaneers would come to the event.
I would really like to know, like other cities, when it's a hometown team in the Super Bowl, if their occupancy is the same, if they have the same problems. And, with all due respect, do you think California, listen, there's no secret. They're having image problems. And do you think it's a little bit, if it was in Vegas, maybe everybody would go because Vegas is a party town. Do you think that could be it too?
I think some of the image problems are probably more intense up in Northern California because those are the ones you hear on not only the local news, but the national news as well. It's hard to say. We also have still a lot of corporate America that hasn't gone back to their offices. So, all the office workers at all the major studios for film and television, they're still all working remotely. They're not on the lot. They're not in their office buildings.
Yeah. Do you think it has anything to do with Glenn not being there?
I think it has everything to do with you and Glenn not being there. And if you would have done the opening,
listen, go through a conference with me and Glenn. Okay, go through an airport with me and Glenn, and I get noticed. Go through a conference with me and Glenn, and everybody asked me to hold his bag. So
I was with you guys in Dallas. Remember?
Yeah, and you saw it, right? You saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
Like, who's the ball guy?
You guys are way too funny. But Anthony, Craig, I got a question for you. One of the things we're talking about Los Angeles, and we're talking about Super Bowls, and they've got the Olympics coming. One of the phenomenons that I think is really interesting out there is it seems like a lot of people invest in building hotels around these tentpole events. I don't fully understand why you would build a hotel for the Olympics, and it seems a lot of people do that sort of thing. I remember going to the my first ever business trip in 1996 was to the Olympics in Atlanta. There's so many hotels that open, and then the market couldn't support it afterwards. Why does that happen? And why do people think that they can make money for a month and that's good enough for building millions of dollars of hotels? Anyone?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think Atlanta's a good example. And that was also the proving ground, for all the brand new Marriott products at one time.
Right.
And then they had a water shortage. And then next thing you know, Phoenix was the next one to take over for new prototypes. This community is so spread out. We are not a vertical market like San Francisco.
Right.
So depending on where the venues are, it may make some sense to add to the extended stay select service. I don't think you're going to see a lot of new development on full service destination resorts, for simply the Olympics. Right. Now, if something is coming out of inventory, now you look at it, we do not have a Four Seasons hotel in Orange County, California. How did that happen? There isn't one in San Diego. How did that happen? It just wasn't, profitable for them to be down in San Diego, and they got out of the one down there that also had a fractional, a timeshare component. The one here, the ownership group decided to go in a different direction. Mm-hmm. And, if the right flag adds 25% of the value to the asset and they decide to deflag it, there's only one company I know that can afford that hit without blinking an eye.
Right.
That's the Irvine company. So,
right. Yeah.
Whose company?
Irvine.
Oh,
yeah.
So, but I think right now we're looking, at 100,000 keys coming into Los Angeles.
How is that even possible?
Well, you look at some of the new hotels coming in around LA Live, and you also look in the San Fernando Valley. Look at the West Side. You've got development out there. You've also got more boutiques and everything opening up in the South Bay area. There's,
right. So are a lot of these situations, Craig, build it and they will come, build it because they're already there, or we're just hoping something positive is going to happen if we build this thing?
Well, with downtown LA, I think part of that was also, we never had enough rooms for the convention center.
Right.
Decades. AEG came in, did the Staples Center, been involved with, the Marriott Ritz-Carlton down there. They've just taken over the convention center. So, there's a breath of fresh air there. And, they're going to revamp that. They're spending billions of dollars on that to bring that back. And they're going to add more hotels to support that in LA Live.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it ever going to have the appeal of the gas lamp? I don't think so.
Right.
The gas lamp in San Diego's totally different vibe, and a lot more walking on the streets right now. When all three of us were staying in downtown LA, on the walk from our hotel to LA Live was interesting to say the least.
Right. Like the Nomad opened down there, and they're not reopening after the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Because I guess they couldn't make it work because they were downtown LA.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you during the pandemic, you had a lot of hotels that are just going away. Standards going away. Chateau Marmont may not come back as a hotel.
Right. That's they're talking about making those residences and stuff. Right.
Yeah. Private club and residence. And you've got some of the older established private clubs in downtown LA that may change hands. So what'll happen there? It's the hotel component within those may disappear in its entirety. So It's going to be interesting to see what happens. The darling throughout this whole thing has been, extended stay. And you've got a lot of development people looking at that product, or, a campus with an extended stay hotel, which makes a lot of sense.
And generally nationwide, extended stay hotels, according to Logic Econometrics, is like 1/3 of the entire new construction price line right now. It's absolutely incredible for one market segment.
Yeah, and you and I both know brands that, they've got, people staying 2-3 weeks at a time. And they're able to have a reduction in staff on site.
Mm-hmm.
They're not cleaning the rooms as often. So great.
Yeah, that's really cool. Anthony, you got anything?
No, just when does the conference start?
Tomorrow.
It's just one day.
It's just one day.
Yeah. One day in and out. That way you can get back to your office and deliver the great information that you get to the rest of your team, and you can start amending and updating your plans or creating plans, especially.
Are there any surprises that you're going to announce tomorrow that you can announce here live?
Oh, yes. We are presenting our second Lifetime Achievement Award. And
To Glenn Houseman? To Glenn Houseman?
No, not to Glenn Houseman.
I'm too young for that. Yeah. Still.
No, there's and I don't know if you know him or not, but the founder and president of Atlas Hospitality Group, Alan Ray.
Okay.
He opened up that firm a little more than 23 years ago and changed the entire landscape of hotel brokerage in the state of California.
Oh, is that the gentleman that passed away this year?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He, he and his crew have closed over 600 hotel sales in that time.
Ooh.
And nobody closes more deals in California than they do. And it's everything from a small roadside inn to a full service hotel. And
well, I'm glad he's alive so he can pick up the award.
Right. Absolutely. And he's impacted, not my career in particular, but the entire state. He's part of the trade organizations. Right. He's always there. He's quoted Wall Street Journal, New York Times, LA Times, all the business journals. He's on CNN, NBC, ABC, the whole alphabet soup of news networks as well. And he's an Englishman in Newport Beach. So, he was directly responsible for a very positive effect on my career over the long haul. I closed a lot of deals with him over the span of the past 27 years. And it's just time to acknowledge him. And
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
We're not doing it every year. Now we'll certainly consider people every year.
Right.
And we'll see, is it appropriate? Now, the other thing is that's new. There's two other new items. We're announcing our first Development Deal of the Year award, and I'm going to let this out there live right now.
Oh boy,
is the JW Marriott at the Anaheim Resort. So, congratulations to Prospera Hotels. They were the winner this year, and our friend Bruce Ford at Lodging Econometrics is heading up a committee that we will take submissions on California hotels only for an annual award going forward.
Awesome.
This year. So looking forward to that. And then Glenn and I are bringing our shenanigans to a hotel development roundtable called The Agony and the Ecstasy of Hotel Development. So
unfortunately, I'm the agony. He's the ecstasy.
I think we're both agony at that point. So, but yeah, no, it's going to be a great day. And Anthony, we'd love to have you out next year. So,
well, all you got to do is invite me.
Yep.
Glenn probably told you don't invite him because he'll say no.
No, somebody else did. No,
I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I didn't want Craig to feel rejected.
Yeah.
No.
When you ask someone to go to the prom and they don't come, it's very sad.
Don't you think it's time for Glenn to get an award of some sort, like best looking podcast host or what he's done for our industry? I think it's time to recognize my friend Glenn.
I've been pushing that for a long time. I tried getting him the Julian Award.
Yeah,
so.
Well, those went to actually property people and stuff like that. Which
let me give you an award, Glenn. This is your award, okay?
What is that? Does it?
I'm giving you my cell phone holder. There you go.
And here's one for you.
Yours is bigger.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, guys. You have anything else?
We're gonna get out of here because we've got to get over to the JW Anaheim. We got to get ready for CLIC. If you guys want to come, go to CLIConnect.com. No, conference.com. Sorry, that was That was weird. CLIconference.com. And remember, tomorrow, everybody, we're not going to be doing a show at 12 noon East Coast time, 9 a.m. West Coast time. We're just going to pop on throughout the day as we find some interesting people to chat with. And producer Dave will be there, so you'll be able to see him. And then tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. East Coast time-ish, we're doing a special Friday night audit with a whole cavalcade of people that are going to be at the conference. That should be a whole lot of fun.
The caravan of captivating characters.
Ooh, love it. Love it.
Very good.
All right, let's get out of here, everybody. I'm now stalling for time so I can bring up the appropriate graphic. Boom. Make sure you download the show on podcast forms. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, wherever you get your shows. Well, we are there. Reach out to him. He's at Anthony Hotels. I'm at Traveling Glenn. Anything else, Anthony?
No, sorry, Bob.
All right, everybody. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on and
be kind to yourself.
See you all tomorrow from time to time.
From time to time.